Hi everyone, this is Ida with Created to Create. I have a quick project share, you guys. I was playing with, we as crafters don't like to waste anything. And I'm just like everybody else. I don't like to waste anything. So I was looking at the piece of the trash can that was left from the bustier that I had made with the wastebasket. And there you get a little strip like this that's left. It's a little bit longer. I already cut a piece off of this one. And I thought, that's kind of pretty, and it's coated so it doesn't really have rough edges or anything. You're not going to hurt yourself except maybe in the edges, but I knew that whatever I created, I was going to cover this up so they wouldn't have any jagged edges. So this is what I created, guys, with part of that little wire that was from the wastebasket. I made this heart, and so this I thought, because when I think of this wire, whether it be chicken wire, any type of fencing like this, it reminds me sort of like Shabby Chic to me. And I didn't want to waste it, you guys. And I knew the piece was big enough that I could do something. And I didn't want to turn it into a shaker either, but I wanted to kind of, just put it in the background of something, whether it's in between two layers of paper or whatever, whether it be a tag or it just didn't matter. I wanted to incorporate it somehow. So this is what I created, and I'm not going to do a tutorial on this because it's really self-explanatory. When you look at something, you can see how easily it came together and pretty much what I did. Now, this could easily be turned into a shaker, you guys. You would just have to put a piece of acetate before you put the wire on top. That way, and your sequence and everything inside. And then, of course, you would do your wire over your acetate. And then you would do a frame around that wire to cover the prongs in the edges. That way nobody would get hurt with that. And I don't have one pre-cut because I only cut one out so far. But I started out with just a solid heart like this, guys. And all I did was cut it out, and then I cut it out in the folders, the manila folders, those cream colored ones that they use in the offices and stuff like that. I like to do a layer of that in between my papers because it gives it stability. So either use a lightweight chipboard, a cereal box, whatever you have handy, you guys. You don't have to go out and buy folders. If you have a box of whether it was left from some tea bags or whatever it is, as long as it's lightweight chipboard, I will cut it out of there and sandwich it in between the designer paper and whatever paper you're going to do on the back. Now I'm going to show you the back, and that's how I started out. I cut out 3 of them. One was the front, which was this one that I wanted to show. The back part was white, and then the center would be the lightweight chipboard or the manila folder. Anyway, I'm going to show you the backing. See the back? I love to emboss my paper in the back, whether I'm doing tags or whatever I'm doing. And there's nothing like using a 3D embossing folder to me. This is a Crafter's Companion embossing folder. And I've showed it before, but I'll show you the packaging again, because I know everybody doesn't see all the videos. But this is by Crafter's Companion, and it is called Butterfly Trellis. And I'm sure you can find it anywhere, guys. Just search for it. And and I embossed it, and I love. And see the wire, the trellis part, it reminds me of this. And to be quite honest, guys, I hadn't even noticed till just now when I'm looking at it right now, and because of the name. Anyway, it has the trellis that looks like the gate, that the little piece of wire that I have in the front. It has the butterflies and then the flourishes. It is so pretty, you guys, this one. And then after I had layered all those 3 together, the front, the back, and then between, I went ahead and cut out a piece of foam, you guys. I used, it's about almost 1/4 of an inch thick, I'm going to say. The foam sheet that I buy. Let me share it with you real quick. I have it right here. It's just the white foam sheet, and there's how thick it is. It's pretty thick. I'm going to say it's about 1/4 of an inch, you guys. It might be a tad smaller, but not by much. And that's what I use to cut. So I cut it again out of the foam. And after I had done that, you guys, I took the die that I was using to cut the center there. So after I had cut it out of foam, I just kind of centered this on the foam heart that I had cut out, and this dies will cut through that thick foam, guys. So all I did was just kind of eyeball it, centered it, and ran it through my machine to cut out that hole in the center of the foam. So that's how I got the opening here. And I did the same thing with white, you guys. I actually cut out another white heart, and then I centered this and went ahead and ran it through my cutting machine, die cut machine, to get the hole over here to cover the wire, like the raw edges of the little piece of wire. So that's what I did. But you don't have to, especially if you're adding, like I think, I'm not sure because I didn't do it that way, that if I would have just added my trim, it would have been enough to camouflage the raw edges of the wire. So, you know, you can try it that way. If not, definitely just put a piece of 110-pound cardstock and glue it on top of the wire. That way you cover all the raw edges. And all I did was inside, because it did have a little flower cluster on the designer paper that I used, I just added another flower there that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. I love these flowers, you guys. I think these are my all-time favorite flowers. And the color is so soft. And I added this little trim, and I don't recall who gave me this trim. Could be Carolyn, could have been one of you guys, could have been Emma Mangiafico, could have been anybody, because you guys are so generous to me. And I just don't remember who sent it, but I didn't buy it. And this little pointy crochet lace is it's only about 1/4 of an inch wide, guys. So it was easy to maneuver it and curve it around the heart. And all I did was just to kind of cover that paper. I didn't have to, but I felt like I wanted to incorporate some type of lace in there. And then I had this little dress form. I have a dress form mold, but I don't like it because the mold is so thin, the stand on it, that it's very hard to pour into that mold. So I don't really care for it too much, but I remembered that I did have one, and because I used it with the scraps that I had left over from the corset, I decided to put the little dress form here, and then the little cluster of flowers here. And then I added this little seam binding double loop bow that all I did was make a double loop bow, guys, and I spritzed it with water and just kind of rolled it around in my hand, just kind of balling it up like this to give it that crumpled look. And then I added this little butterfly that Julia Monroe gifted me. And this little butterfly is from Renee Bouquets. What I like about her butterflies, guys, or dragonflies, or whatever she has, is that they're double-sided. And it looks pretty on the bottom and on the top. I really love that about her things. And I don't have very many, but I do have the ones that Miss Julia Monroe sent me. And thank you, Miss Julia. I really appreciate it, and I love them. I use them sparingly. And then this is a resin piece that I had made, or Abby had made for me, because she makes my resin stuff. I don't really mess with the resin. And she had made me this resin piece, and I never colored it. I left it white the way the resin was. And all I did was go over it with this artsy gold wax paste, and to highlight a little bit of the details to bring it out in the gold, because my banner here, it says hello beautiful, and that's in a foil gold, so I wanted to add a little bit more gold in there. And then the edges, guys, I didn't like the way the foam looked on the edges. Like, it didn't look completely finished, and I thought, I had a little piece of corrugated paper, and you guys, I've showed it to you before, on my desk, and I kind of just held it over the edge, and I liked the way that looked. So I knew this needed to be only about 1/4 of an inch. I cut some strips out of 110-pound cardstock in the pale pink, and I ran it through my Fiskars little tool that, I'll share it with you right now. This tool that we use to just corrugate the paper. So that's what I used to corrugate it. And I just, it was the perfect width, you guys, to go on the edge. And that kind of covered all those raw edges. And I really like the way this looks. Now, this could be a tag, all you would have to do is glue a string up here with a bow or whatever, and it would hold because it's paper, it's not weighty. Or you could leave it as a card front and add it to an embellishment for a card front, or an embellishment to go on some type of altered box. You can do just about anything with it, you guys. So I'm going to leave it without the string. So whoever the recipient is, they can do whatever they want with it. And I am going to make another one because I have a bunch of resin pieces. Like I could have easily put a bird. You know, I could have done anything. But I just kind of decided to go with the dress form. But all in all, I think it ended up really pretty, you guys. I hope that you like what I created. And those of you who are going to make the dress forms out of those waste baskets, definitely save that piece of wire that you cut off, because you can incorporate it into so many of your projects. Just make sure to cover the edges that are rough, you know, the prongs that are left. Just kind of cover them somehow. But look at how beautiful, for a piece of wire that I was probably going to throw away and change my mind, because, and it's pretty pliable, you guys, and you can actually, you know, a lot of times something like this kind of has a weight to it. This, I was able to straighten it up very flat, so I didn't have any trouble to glue it down or anything, because it does lay pretty flat. Anyway, that's what I created, guys. I hope that you like the embellishment that I made. And definitely, when you're doing a tag or something, try embossing the back, guys. I find that makes a big statement. Or for me, it does. I absolutely love the way it looks embossed. Anyway, that's what I created. I hope everyone is having a great day. I am working on another of the bodice baskets that I've been making, and that one's going to be in blue, guys. And whenever it's done, I will definitely share it on Instagram and maybe on Facebook. I do have a Facebook now, you guys. I'm under my own name, under Ida Martinez, but underneath my name in parentheses is Created to Create. So those of you who don't know, I am on Facebook again. And like I said, whenever I get done with that, the blue corset basket, I would definitely share it. If not, I probably won't do a video, because I already did a video on the pink one, but I will post it there on Instagram or on Facebook or on both. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope everyone has a great day, and God bless. Bye.